Hello again. Thank you for coming back to my channel. Been a little while. Very busy time of year. But I think I've got time to get a good game in. So we're going to try and play a nice game of chess here. E4, E5. Um, yeah, why not? Let's see if our opponent knows some King's Gambit theory. You're going to take the knight. This bishop is blocked out of this diagonal, so I don't have a lot that I'm worried about there. Come here and attack the queen and the c2 square, or here and attack the c2 square. So I'm tempted to push c3 just to keep the knight out. There's been no gambit of a pawn. He didn't take the gambit, so this is King's Gambit declined. And I just I think I have a lead in development. Do I? I'm already castled. He's got 2 moves before he can castle. I've got 2 minor pieces not developed. C3 seems like the move. Just keep this knight out. So he does take, and that frees this square up for the knight, but this can keep the knight out of there as well. I've already planned on gambiting this pawn, but I am prepared to take it back. If he does something like push this pawn now to try and defend, I don't think that's good for him. He's going to try and castle queenside to get out of this attack. But I think I'm pretty fast on the queen side too. He has 2 attackers on the e-pawn. If he takes, I can pin it. If he takes with the queen, asking for a queen trade, I don't have to take the queen trade. I could develop the knight here to defend this, but that seems pretty passive and that blocks my bishop in. His bishop's also blocked in. I think I'm going to go for this pawn, and I'm going to give him this one if he wants it. Get my pieces out. This one is aimed kingside now if he wants to castle kingside. I could have dropped the bishop back as well to defend, but I like the bishop where it is. There's no reason to move it unless he's forcing me to. Certainly not for defense of a pawn. When I have such a lead in development. Develop, develop, develop. He's really thinking about whether or not he wants to do that. My queenside attack can roll pretty quickly too. I think takes here might be kind of the critical choice. If he takes with the queen, what do I do? I just slide over and prevent him from queenside castling. And then where does he put the queen? He doesn't have, I don't think he has to move the queen just yet because this isn't a threat at the moment until I can get this knight developed and the rooks connected. But where else is the queen going to go? The queen wouldn't be able to go there. So the queen could come all the way back to G6. I'm still going to develop my knight. And then the threat is to bring the A rook over to the E file. And I have rooks on E and F. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. So stop it from castling queenside. And now the idea is develop with the tempo, bring the other rook over. Unless he moves his queen out. I mean, he can move his queen out of that idea. He just drops it back. I still have this threat of bringing the rook over to E1. So it might just be best for him to get his queen out of there to G6. Is this an idea? Play D5? I don't think that's a very good idea, particularly. Okay, so let's chase the queen. Think. Yeah, let's chase the queen. He knows he's not getting castled queenside now, so he wants to go kingside. But then I've got ideas of dropping this bishop back, maybe. I still have ideas of dropping the bishop back. How does he block the bishop? Oh, he moves his queen. So if I attack the queen, he moves his queen here. It's defended by the knight. If I just bring the rook over, that's a very nice place for the rook to be. Okay. Did I end up gambit? I did. Okay, so I am down a pawn. I've gambited a pawn. Well, my pieces are so much better. Um, I don't I don't see the point in attacking the queen just yet because this square is available. And I don't want a queen trade. So I'm just gonna bring my other rook into the game. I think that's my play. And if he castles, he's gonna self-pin this. So maybe knight here and here. This is still an idea to block that. So if I attack the queen and he offers a trade, if I come to the dark squares, he doesn't have the square with for the knight to attack my queen because the queen's occupying it. There is an idea of kicking the knight after that as well, because the knight is the only defender of this. If I do this immediately, he can attack my bishop. My bishop's defended though. So, oh no, he can come here. Okay. If I kick the knight, he comes to e5, blocks the attack on this. So bishop to d3, queen to h5, queen to g3. Maybe he brings his other rook over. Rook a to e8. Seems to just kind of allow him to get his rook in the game. I don't want to chase the queen unnecessarily without concrete gains. This is I'm playing this all for tempo and momentum and initiative. So maybe it makes sense to bring my knight to a better square. Yeah, I think that's an idea. I think that's my better idea. Just improve my knight. Here's my unpaid Coca-Cola advertisement. I've been drinking too much Coca-Cola though. I need to cut back. It's not really good for me, I know it, but boy does it taste good. Hmm. So if I'm him, I want to get my rook in the game. I may also want to think about blocking this bishop. Since the bishop can't come here, I cut the queen off with this knight move. So this knight move cut my queen off from its protection. So maybe I drop it back. I don't really want to block my rook with it, so I think I would drop it back to b3, try to maintain some pressure. Then he's got knight to a5, knight a5, and then I'm gonna have to come back to some silly square like d1. Was there an intermezzo move that I could do maybe? Sure, what if I attacked the queen first? The queen could come here. So if pawn blocks, knight h4, queen c2, Bishop d3, queen takes b3 or b2, knight g4. Oh wait, no. Knight's over here. There's no knight g4. Knight f5. I'd have two pieces on this. Um, but I'd be giving up another pawn. The queen would be out of play. And I would have a whole bunch of attackers over here. There would have to be something out of that. Not really worried about that. That's gotta. He brings. Oh no, yeah. If he brings his queen all the way over here, that's not where she needs to be. So, what are his other ideas? I think this is just a good, solid move to get his other piece into play. He should be considering that. And if he does that, do I go ahead with my plan? Just attack. Knight h4 and knight f5 coming. The bishop would be defended then by the rook and the knight. But my knight is eyeing up this square, which is very nice. Be swinging my bishop back to this diagonal. I have a pretty killer attack. I just need to remove some defenders. I'll be thinking about rook sacrifices on this knight. Once I get some coordination on h7. Forgot to even look at my opponent's stats. So he'd been on chess.com for a while as well, April of 2011, joined the same year I did. And he is from Slovakia. Okay, so that I was expecting. I think that's his best move. With knight here and queen here, I think the queen is trapped with bishop to e2. No, the queen has this whole rank to work with. But then I'd have the knight here without a discovery on the queen, and I don't want to trade queens because I want to attack. So let's attack the queen. Let's get our knight a little better positioned. I'm expecting, so queen can come here to h5 or c2. If queen c2, yeah, that's a move that dang it. That's a move I should have seen and I should have thought about before I played knight here. I could allow him to take the queen, but then ah. So if I take and knight takes, he's got a bishop attack on my knight. His knight is here looking at this and this. So I just bring the knight up, attack the bishop. He brings the bishop down to F. That's frustrating. I played that a little too quickly. I don't really want him to just. I don't want to just have my king open in the breeze here either. So it's probably best to say oops and trade. When he brings his knight or his bishop here to block or to get out of this attack, I might have something on the knight here, so perhaps his bishop back is a better option. If he ever tries to kick my knight, I can come here gladly. So this isn't bad. I mean, I would have rather had my queen on the board, but white is still in the better position. If he trades more material, though, I don't know how I feel about that. Brings his bishop back. Leave this square for his knight, so his knight doesn't get trapped. And then I do what? Pick his knight anyway. He trades a pair of rooks. Maybe I trade a pair of rooks first to get the rook off of this f7 square. Hmm. If I kick the knight first, I drive him backwards to the square that he wants to go to, defends this. Hmm. What about this? And then he trades. So what if I trade first and then I pin the knight? He kicks my bishop. Am I just giving him space on the queen side there? I don't think I'm really prepared to take the knight for the bishop. The bishop's a better piece. I'm gonna trade a pair of rooks, and then I'm gonna. I think. I don't know. Drop this back. That's giving up this square. And you can kick me. That doesn't really accomplish anything. Dropping the bishop back. It removes a piece between here and here, but it's too slow. I want to gain some queenside space here. We've got the knight and the bishop on this. So there's no worries there. Feeling a little rusty. Need a little more practice. Been entertaining myself with bullet in my absence from rapid, and it's fun. Hmm. Hmm. So what does he do? What does he do? Hmm. I need a tempo to get one of these pieces off of here. Then maybe I can think about sacrificing the bishop on 7 and having a discover. If I can find a good discover with the knight or the bishop. Maybe if the rook moved to a dark square, or that's a bad move, but I don't know. Just spitballing ideas. It would really behoove him to find some defense for this. Or maybe break the pin. Maybe just bring the king to f8. Seems like a solid idea. Perhaps. All right, he brings the bishop. He brings the knight back. So this is a threat for him. He wants to block out my bishop. I don't blame him. And if I play d5 instead, I block out my own bishop. And well, I don't see if that, I don't think that that's great. I pin the knight. Is the knight? That's not really a pin, but do this. And now if he pushes, am I threatening to take the knight? Pawn takes to keep the pawn. Bishop takes. Rook takes. I don't know if that's any better. Minute 45. Okay, I gotta put my. This is gonna anchor this square for the knight as well. And I don't really like that. But if I give up this square, then the knight has this one. How about we pin the knight to the rook? Force him to, I don't know, really just needed to move and try to stop overthinking things. Hmm. I still like my position. I'm down a pawn, but my pieces are more active. I've got the bishop pair. I don't know if I'm really, I don't know if I'm really wanting to take that knight off the board. Lots of I don't knows today. Not playing with a lot of confidence, which is necessary for the King's Gambit, but it didn't turn into a typical King's Gambit. All right, well, I'll let him gain a little space here if he wants, and then I'm going to come back here if he blocks me out. I have a target. I'm not very proud of that maneuver. I just let him get a little extra space, and no, maybe I'm thinking of a4, but he's not forced to take. It would be very kind of him to take and let me pin his knight. Okay. Let's see what he's doing there. Not at all. Maybe I can bring the knight back with tempo here. An idea to come to this square, perhaps? No. I was thinking if I could just tease the knight away, but I don't have enough time to sack a bishop here. If I'm gonna, I'd be sacking two pieces. And the knight would just come right back to defend the square. Let's get our king centralized. He can trade here. Trade knights, but that's okay by me. And now I put my king in the way too. But I'm gonna get my king to the middle. We're approaching an end game, so he has nowhere to go but back. If he anchors, I just take. Now what? Should I swap the rooks and try to go for a... Let's push some kingside pawns and gain some space over here. See if we can have him tie his own shoes together. Drop the bishop back, perhaps. Push this pawn. If he takes, I take with the king, and then I have finally my f7 weakness targeted. But then his bishop isn't blocked anymore. He can block with the rook. If he takes that square away from the knight, okay. He doesn't want to trade those, so I'm gonna... Maybe he comes here. I'm gonna keep pushing my kingside pawns and put the squeeze on the time pressure here. Let's come here and still... I just... Or just hang a pawn. Let's hang a pawn. That's okay. I'm gonna fortify that. Still gonna hang this pawn though. Oh. He didn't want the free pawn. Okay. Hmm. If I come here and he takes and I take, he's got this. If I take, I let him bring his pawn here and keep my king from advancing. Just lift my rook. He finally breaks that pin. I'm going to trade and I'm going to go into end game a pawn down with a bishop versus a knight and hope that I can work something out here. Auto take back. He's got a 2-on-1, but I've got a bishop. I need to snag a pawn. I figure out how to snag a pawn. The good thing is this one is fixed on a light square. So if I can somehow maneuver, I may get to snag a pawn over here and have a 3-on-2. So with time so low, I think I might get fortunate here and be able to work something out. Okay. That's what I would have done. So let's reposition our bishop. So my king has no way in anymore, but maybe I can come here. He's going to fortify. Ooh. Well, my king doesn't have any way in, so the good thing is he's let me up here now. So I think I'm in really good shape here. Oh no, he can check and win my bishop. That would have been game. Like I'd have been playing for a draw then at best. That was a yikes. Well, my king's got no way in. He doesn't ever have to move his knight unless. Hmm, this might be a dead draw. Might be a dead draw. Pretty sure it is. He's got a fortress. And try to force something in over here. Now, if he tries to force the issue, I might have time to get back. I hope I do. He's going to force the issue. Okay. Now I've got something to play against. I just can't let his king back in here. Oof. Okay. I need to force his king over here. Hmm. Ah, that guard's guarded by the bishop. Well, that's exactly what I said I couldn't do, but I've given this now, so I've got to come up here and try and hold things together. I don't know if I can. Takes, 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 takes. is a loss because he gets to the queening square. I'm in trouble. I think. I think I'm in trouble. I think he can afford to even give up the knight here and just move back and start pushing pawns. Because this pawn falls for me and I'm playing for a draw, which I think I am anyway. Need to work on my end game. I don't time out, fella. Okay, he's gonna give me the. So I'm playing for a draw. I just need to. I just take the pawn and it's a draw. Insufficient material, so I can't. Yeah. Okay. Wow. I thought I had a much better position in this. Lots of ups and downs. So it was a nice back and forth game. Not terrible accuracy, but Black had more ups than I did, particularly in the later stages of the game. That's a blunder. So this queen move was a shot for me to do something here. I don't think I found it. No, I missed it. I still have an edge. I still have a 1.3 edge, but I have 2-2 here. And I'm wondering if it is attacking here. Oh, not for black. I want to retry white. I think it's here. No, no, of course not, because this isn't protected. Let's retry that again. Hmm. Taking the pawn with the bishop was a mess. Developing to protect the pawn. Also a mistake. What should I do here? I should take it with the queen. Because why? Because why? Queen takes e4. And bishop, okay, queen takes e4 and bishop takes f7 check is the line that this is giving. If it's saying king e7 is the best move, but what if king takes? Oh, the knight's pinned, that's why. The knight's pinned and the queen hangs. That's of course, yeah. All right. Well, that was not the move or the sequence that I chose to play. It does make a lot more sense though, because later moves I was wondering, I was like trying to find a way to get the bishop out of the way so that my attack on the f-file could do something, but I put the bishop in the way. And that was just to prevent queenside castling. Knight develop was a mistake. Not much of one, but a little one. Hmm. Seems pretty natural to develop that knight. Maybe I went to the wrong square. Oh, that's a that's a black. So what's white's best? Yeah, go to the other square. Threaten to come here. Okay. Still feel really good in this position. I like white's position. Shows that white has an edge, but bringing the knight over was a bit slow. I don't have a whole lot of an edge, but still, if not bringing the knight into the game, then what? What are other ideas here? I've got this wonderful pin. No, but this is a pretty good idea as well. Bring the bishop back and target h7 instead of f7. But then I was looking at queen here. Or queen here. Which he ends up playing anyway. It does like my knight move. After I brought the knight that far. But I'm really just maintaining equality. I liked my option to trade off a pair of rogues. And this punt was really because I couldn't find anything else to do. I have a pawn edge here. Trying to toy with the idea of sacrificing, but maybe. I don't know. Oh, Stockfish says bishop takes d6. Bishop takes here. And if pawn takes, knight takes is a pretty significant attack on f7. Okay, well, from here on out, it's a very long, drawn-out end-game process. That was a blunder. Because it hung this pawn. So we're both in time pressure for the remainder of the game. It's not very clean, and black's the one playing for an edge. He didn't have to force things, but it was his best shot, I guess. And he's winning here. He can force things through. Not like that, though. By just bringing the king over, I think. Miss on my part again. Oh, just go straight for the knight. Because the bishop already has the pawn attacked. Makes good sense. And this is, yeah, insufficient material. Well, thanks for watching. I'm going to try and post a few more in the next couple of days. Get back into some rapid play. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.